Brian Merritt with John Lucas Enterprises, here with Straight A Athletics, bringing out your A game.
Coach Merritt, once again, let's talk about what this combine is. This combine and the future of the game that was hosted last week in Las Vegas. What you're looking for and what it is.
The future of the game camp in Las Vegas was the top 5th and 6th graders nationally, identified by myself and a handful of others. And based on a network of coaches that have helped me identify those players through the AA Nationals, different AAU tournaments from around the country, and guys that are familiar with that age group because they coach that group and they've been around that group, the age group, for a long time now, and they've done a pretty good job of helping me identify those kids in their programs, in the programs, you know, within their cities that may not play for them. Well, with the future of the game camp, I spent a week in Cocoa Beach last year evaluating the 5th grade nationals, as well as, I have a strong network of coaches throughout the country who have feeder programs for their 14s, 15s, 16s, and 17s. They have their feeder programs, which they identify those players at an earlier age and feed all the way up through their older programs. So I get a pretty good handle on identifying talent through some of my network and identifying the top coaches, and I put a lot of pressure on those coaches who are friends of mine to make sure that they're not just sending me anybody, that they're sending me the cream of the crop and the best players they have that they have access to. And I make sure that at the same time, kids that aren't in their program, don't let me find out about a kid that's playing right across the street that's better than somebody in your program. They've done a pretty good job about just making sure I know of the kids and stuff like that. So with that, that's how we've done the future of the game. With the International Middle School Combine, we've had somewhat of a qualifier camp called Camp Right Way in December here in Houston. It's been in the past, it's been majority Texas kids, but this past year we've had kids from about 22 states try and come and earn an invite to the International Middle School Combine for the top 8th graders and a handful of 7th graders. With that camp, it's a lot more exhaustive, whereas in the 5th and 6th grade camp, I'm not going to turn down a kid whose parent and the kid believe they should be there and want to play, because I'm not going to be the story on draft night 6, 7, 8 years from now when that kid says that he made it because Brian Merritt didn't let him get in camp when he was in the 5th grade. But with the 8th graders, the things start to level off, and you can start to identify some special talent and special qualities about an 8th grader, between a 14 and 15-year-old. I go to a lot of the top tournaments and stuff. I have a good network of guys who see that age group. So I think we do a pretty good job of identifying and inviting that talent. Pretty much, we've invited like 150 kids for 100 spots, and the first 100 kids that we get in, locked in, that's what we go with. And we don't. Once we get to a certain point, we don't go over that, because we're about competition and kids who want to compete and want to play with the best.
Okay, what sets this combine apart from any other combine at this time?
I believe it's the teaching. Coach, we do a lot of the same stuff, maybe not to the extent of the breakdown, but we do a lot of the same stuff in drills we do here with these 7th and 8th graders that we do with the draft guys and the pros during the summer. Same stuff we're doing with Quincy Miller, Chris Middleton, Herb Pope, Bobo, those guys in the gym this morning at 7 a.m. We're going to be doing the same thing with these kids here the next 2 days. At the same time, I think our camp, we bring out the best in terms of coverage, because they know the John Lucas name and brand is going to bring the best players. And by doing that, they're going to come and make sure they see, because we've had 6, 7, 8 McDonald's All-American voters in the gym under one roof to watch 8th graders, which you're not going to see that. You don't see that anywhere else, even for high school kids, unless you're at the Peach Jam or LeBron James or Nike Skills Academy or Adidas Nation. So, I think that aspect makes us special, combined with the quality of the camp talent, instruction in the camp, and the coverage of the people who count in basketball. Noticing these kids at such an early age, that's what really sets us apart from whatever else may be out there.
All right, and lastly, what do you see the future of the camp being?
I really see the future of the camp, and it started last year. I hope that over the next year or two, I have more time to I wanted to be able to get 20 to 30 international kids in the camp. This year last year we had about 7 or 8 kids come from Canada, Africa, Australia, different countries. I think by next year, the year after that, we'll be able to branch out. And the reason we didn't get the 20 that I had set for my goal this year, we took over the NBA Players Top 100 camp selection process back in January, and that pretty much sent me all over the country for about 2 months, focusing on an older age group, whereas I didn't get a chance to work the phones and navigate through the other countries and stuff to recruit those top players for this 8th grade camp. But I think, to answer your question, more international flavor and continuing to try and get the top kids. And another part about it, I think our coaching staff this week is going to be off the charts. So the coaching staff is really something that we take pride in. At the end of the day, I'm probably going back and sorting through the coaches stuff and letting the writers and recruiting gurus go through and figure out who played better, who was this or that and the third, and I'm trying to make sure we get the top coaches and keep them guys coming back and find a way to make sure that they're happy and they want to come back. So.